microregion of Siklós is the southest microregion in Hungary. We can find it in Baranya County, the embrace of the Villány mountain range and the river Drava. This south-post ensures the Mediterranean climate of the area. This microregion lies only 25 kilometers from Pécs, and you can find here the most unhurted river of Hungary, fish ponds rich in fish, and the cave rich in dripstones but cannot be visited by tourists yet, and our country's largest health and thermal bath. Beside this water recreation, there is the really famous wine-growing region of Villány and the castle of Siklós with its waxworks museum about the captain of the tankes. Not only the bath means the only recreation opportunity in the area of the waters. Just a couple of kilometers from Harkány to the southeast, the Danube-Drava National Park can be found, which is one of the popular targets of the excursionists. At Drava-Szabolcs, even with an identity card, we may go to visit the neighborhood Croatia, or we can enjoy the beauties of the nature by boarding a ship. On the parts left untouched by the human, we may admire the rich plant and fauna, and the dog-trained pets along the Drava also offer help to know them. The most frequented target is the cormorant farm that can be approached on the Drava by pleasure boat, leaves many times a day. Drava and its many backwaters are compartmentalized like green bands by the narrow forest areas. The river Drava and the plain areas belong to the Danube-Drava National Park area. The richly proliferating flora's dominant representatives in the point of the landscape are the willow, the cottonwood and the alder woods, and on the areas lying higher, where there are no floods, the oak, ash, elm woods. From among the hardwoods, the giant tree of the region, the Slovenian oak, deserves marked attention. There is rich aquatic vegetation in Drava backwaters, and it's filling up moat lakes. The river Drava and its floodplains have rich fauna too. The beds of backwaters rushed upon more parts are excellent places for prolification for the lake frog and the bullfrog. We may often meet grass snakes sunbathing and winding on reeds on sunny vernal and summer days. The real value of the ancient Drava bed is the presence of the birds living on the area of the backwaters. We can hear the sound of the birds, and on our excursions we can often see their nests in the edge of the reeds. The pictures of the Bird Memorial Park in Moty remind us to the defunct bird races in Hungary. Bats living in the caves of willows and hunting above waters represent the significant value from mammals. The otter and the white cat often appear as a wanderer on the area. The sandbanks of the uncontrolled river boundary are the spawn places of certain riverine fish. In Drava's dead space, after passing of the time, the men settled down too. The water took down sand dross, which was called first an urn, and later it was called Ormány, and from here the today's name of the area Ormánság. From among the East Ormánság villages belonging to the microregion of Siklós, it's worth to visit Kovács-híd, where the local Three-Kezet church shows us the civilization of the local people. Our ancestors' national costume was kept here. People living here dressed and still dress in white here when it's mourning or celebration. We get moving in Ormánság, we can find Diósviszló, which is the gate of the eastern Ormánság. The proximity of the Drava provides excitements for the lovers of fishing just as well than the fishing lakes of Kistapolca, Kovács-híd, Bisse and Moty. In the artificial lakes you can find ponds, carp, crucian and several other fish races. There is a nearly 10 hectare ponds in Bisse, and its average depth changes between 1 and 2 meters. Water installed intensively, and then so, the fauna contains mostly the carp, amur, a pike, pike perch and the bream. It has an ordered clear coast with angler places, which are separated from each other by bigger or less cane. On Kistapolca, the Borbála lake settles down in 7.2 hectares, containing carp, amur, bream and crucian, pike and pike perch. The fishing lake of Kovács-híd, or on other named the Duck Lake, and the Egerszeg channel lies on 7.1 hectare. Receivable fish: carp, crucian, amur, pike, bream, tench. Beside the angler lakes, in the area's forest the hunters can be found. Hunters for Hungarian Vizsla competition is a hunting competition which is organized every year, and the active and passive participants also can enjoy it. If we talk about the natural waters, we have to mention the highest dot of the Villány mountain range, the Szársomlyó. The Dristone cave, the area's most considerable geological value, appeared because of the local quarrying. The miners found a cave in 1994 in April, which was 135 meters long and 28 meters width. Water fills the deeper parts of the cave. The cavity continues under the water. Before the exploration of the cave, the mining process approached the walls of the cavity with 4 meters here, and therefore it effected considerable measure of rock disintegration. To protect the cave, the Ministry of Environmental Protection and Area Developing prohibited the mining and the stone transport near the cave. The cave on the area is locked away from visitors because of the continuous minings, but the dripstones belonging to Danube-Drava National Park can be seen by the guests arrive to the microregion within 1 or 2 decades. The mountain is the highest dot of the Villány mountain range. On the Szársomlyó, the statue park and the tracks organized by Danube-Drava National Park provide useful recreation. The country's first blooming happens here. Hungarian Kikeric is visited in the form of an organized tour in February by the people who like the green tourism. At the foot of the mountain, there is Harkány, where the Arc Theatre Company, known from the Valley of Art, organizes a festival called Devil Cauldron Festival, and they invite well-known artists from all over the country to entertain the people of the area and the visitors. The built beaches and the spa mean the most important entertainment beside the natural waters in the microregion of Siklós. On Beremend, the southest point of Hungary and Baranya County, there is a 33-meter-long swimming pool, a small pool for children, and a children experience pool wait for the lovers of the waters. The beach is opened in the summertime, and at the weekends there are different programs, for example, beach party, beach festival, swimming competitions, and many other things. With its programs, the settlement serves the guest recreation too. There is a similar swimming pool to the Beremend's pool in Siklós, the denominator of the microregion. After 50 years, the pool of Siklós is now closed until 2010 because it goes through huge changes. For this time, there will be a 4-star wellness hotel and Turkish bath. Beside the 25-meter-long swimming pool and children experience pool, everything will be given to pamper your body, and the stage of the castle of Siklós will give good mood and entertainment in the future. Every famous artist has had performances here, like Márta Sebestyén or the Gimes, the Bikini, which is a famous rock band in Hungary. This small town is noisy at summers from the Renaissance evening or other stage performances. The captain of the Tenkes greets us as an old acquaintance in the castle. Beside the Wax Museum, there is a chamber of torture, an exhibition about the story of the castle, and art exhibitions about the border guard and contemporary artist works. The summertime is closed with the Vintage Chicken Paprika Festival, which means the beginning of the grape harvesting term. This area is famous for its white wine. There is a wine museum, but you may taste the Italian or Rhine Riesling, the linden leaf or the Tramini on the hillside. Not far from Siklós, Mária receives the pilgrims. A basilica gained a minor title in the year of 2008. In the church, the miracle-doing Maria sculpture is waiting for the ones expressing gratitude or the prayers every day of the year. Harkány is only 3 kilometers from Siklós in Villány. There can be found one of the largest health resort and thermal spa. The hot healing thermal water of Harkány is good for the rheumatic and arthritic sicknesses. People can heal here with the help of well-trained doctors, and they can have natural healing treatments. The doctors manifested water combinations like this only in Mexico and the Dead Sea. The town's natural conditions are excellent. The microclimate of the spa and the good climate and the yearly 2,100 and 2,200 sunny hours are the excellent accessories for a bath cure. Very good results can be reached with the Thermál cure in the prevention of the organ locomotor, articular illnesses, osteoporosis, chronic gynecological inflammations. The beach and the experienced bath has a 13.5 hectare historic parks, 7,600 square meters of water surface, 5,000 square meters of covered rest areas, 3 thermal and 5 beach pools, jacuzzi, champagne pool, sauna, steam cabin. Harkány is waiting for the people who want to heal from certain diseases like locomotor diseases or skin problems or digestive diseases, but it is also waiting for the people who just want to relax or enjoy the water and have fun. The culture season of Harkány already starts in February with the traditional exorcist and winter valedictory day. Following the February, during the summer, there is the swimming festival, the long weekend festival, and the harvest festival, providing the most variegated concerts, leisure facilities in the city. Beyond the recreation, the water has a leading role in Harkány. In the microregion, the Harkány Spa provides hospital background to the health tourism, where rehabilitative treatments, mud cures, remedial gymnastics are continued with big success. The hospital accomplishes full board, the family's member being in need of a treatment in daytime, the sick member of the family can heal with doctor's supervision, the others may be on holiday on the beach, and Harkány services may be enjoyed jointly through in the evening. Beyond the outdoor patient treatments, good results are reached in the hospital in the psoriasis healing. Patients arriving here are made asymptomatic permanently, and all this can be accomplished duly for the sulfuric water. The cultural values are important beside the water. Next to the Harkány church, there is the Hungarian crossroad, which picks out a segment of our history. Staying at the past paleontology museum is almost unique. There you can see fossils, mainly from Villány and Nagyharsány, but from the Carpathian Basin, and in this way they evoke the sea mammals which nowadays live only in stone imprints. In the city, beside the past, the culture of the future can be found too. 3-dimensional works are exhibited in the Museum of Futó László Pál. These works are exhibited together with Vasarely works all over the world. More than couple 100,000 people visit the town every year, and they like visiting the town when they only have an afternoon or only one evening to spend here. The beach provides a program for the vacationers regularly, and we do not have to despair if we get hungry under the time of the recreation. It occurs very often that, according to the legend of Harkány, a special delicacy, the devil's stew, is served upon the streets for the tourist, and onto the tired stomach the water Harkány is very good. You can taste it free from the drinking fountain in the area of the spa. The legend keeps it in such a way that the devil cast an eye on Harka, an old lady's beautiful daughter, and proposed her. There was nothing else to do but to resort to a trick. The old woman told the devil to plow up the Nagyharsány mountain in one night before the cock starts crowing. The devil plucked through whole night, and he did quite well. The old lady got frightened very much when she saw this. She went out to the hen house, woke the cock up, and it started crowing. The other cocks heard this cock, and they start onto the melody meaning the dawn. The devil heard too, and in his anger that he could not finish the work in time, he took a big stamp with his hoof near Harkány. The healing thermal water exploded here from the ground. The people of Harkány were happy for the medicinal water, and the people of Nagyharsány and Villány, who live on the other side of the mountain, were happy for the juice of the mountain, the vine. The Villány vine has been making the microregion famous for long time. Villány is the home of the Mediterranean red vines. The town is waiting everybody to visit, for the families with children's programs, for the young persons with concerts, and the program organizers prepare folklore programs for the elder ones. With the occasion of the archaeological excavations, on the Villány mountain a Roman age house was found, where there were a homemade altar with a crock suitable for storage the vine. The German settlers brought the red vine, giving new type of grape, the port. This red vine was the basis of today's red wine culture. Beside Villány, Villánykövesd and Palkonya were the villages where the Germans built cellars and the grape was grown. Zsigmond Teleki lived and made wine in Villány and also made the red wine of Villány very famous with his own wine. His work and life is introduced in the Wine Museum in details. In the museum, you also can take a look into the progress of making wine and its history, and of course the history of the town. Villány won the honorable title the City of Grapes and Wine. You can see boards everywhere on the streets telling you where can you buy this good quality and famous red wine. The high quality is watched by the Wine Road Company, who also can organize and offer a place to stay and a place to eat. Along the Villány mountain from Máriagyű to the village of Palkonya, there are wine tastings, museum cellars, wine competitions, festivals, folk events, historical memorial places. The beauty of the nature, the village's old and folk architecture give you good time to relax. The pensions, hotels and restaurants are waiting for the visitors with local special food and tasty wine. The main program in the city of red wine, Villány, is the Red Wine Festival, which is kept on the first weekend of October as a 3-day program in every year. On this, beside the wine dressers, the city's young persons celebrate the successful vintage, the new wine Portuguese, that the guests coming to visit here may taste with the sample taken from the wine well. On the holiday, you can see and listen to the full-dress procession of the Hungarian wine orders and the folk dance, folk music orchestras and dance groups. This event is closed with a 3-day-long party, what is usually visited by 15,000 visitors. Every year, more and more people know the Villány wine and get closer to them. Red wines like the Portugieser, Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon, or the Blue Frankish or the Merlot. The men over their 20s like tasting the wine in itself, but in the big summer warmth, they may like some mineral water with the rosé or a light white wine. Knowing this, the local people in near past started to produce own mineral water in Villány. This special water can be tasted in the local wine cellars and restaurants. You may be the participant of these wonderful experiences if you visit the microregion of Siklós. The Dráva, the Tenkes mountain range, the fishing, the wine tasting, the thermal water treatments are all the parts of the life of the people living here, and you can enjoy these if you spend a couple days here in the area of the waters.